So, it's a snow day. I'm on my way home. It's about 1 o'clock, but boss said wrap it up. Wrap it up at 12:30 after lunch, and I figure I'm driving home. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I always see videos of people driving in their car and doing videos. I always wanted to try one. You can't do it live. That's so dangerous. But if I'm paying attention to the road and I only look at the camera when there's a red light, then it's like I'm talking to somebody that's driving with me now, isn't it? So, some thoughts. So, let's talk about Let's talk about how I got into building. Let's do that. So, we'll start with how I got into vaping. How about that? So, when I got out of rehab, and about 3 months after I got out of rehab, I called up my old boss and said, "Hey, if you're looking for work, let me know." And he said, "Oh, don't just stop there. Come in on Monday, and we could definitely use the help." So start working with him. I guess about 3 months after that, 6 months after that, maybe, we're doing a job. Me, him, and the other guy we work with, my co-worker, we all smoke cigarettes, and I guess, my boss would bitch about how much time we waste smoking cigarettes, so he said we should try out this vaping thing, so we don't have to take breaks. We can just hit our vape pens in the job site and take just our cigarette breaks, maybe at lunch and 2 other times, instead of each of us taking like 8 to 10 breaks a day walking outside. We were working in a very expensive restaurant, so we couldn't smoke inside. So we got some vape pens, and after a while, I liked it. At first I got a blue e-cig even before this discussion with my boss. But then we went out and got like an Ego style pen, and we would try to find a juice that we liked, and it would take a while, and then maybe my pen would break at work and I had to get another one. So eventually I find a juice I like, and I get a vape pen that works. And when I'm vaping it, I'm just like, man, there's just something missing. I got 12 milligram nicotine, and I think I just need bigger clouds. I think I just feel like I wish this was pushing out more. This battery feels weak. So then that's when I went and I got a mechanical mod. There wasn't many box mods at this point. Actually, there was no box mods. There wasn't any, I remember when the first box mod came out, and it was a DNA 30 or 40? DNA 30. So there was only mech mods and Ego pens, that's it. So I went out and I got a mech mod. Learned how to build on it by watching like Rip Trippers and stuff. And when you build these coils, even when you just did round wire, hotspots are important, and in older RDAs, having the coil centered is important. Finding a build you like was way harder because there wasn't that much information out there. There was only Kanthal, and there was only like Kanthal 26 and 24. So finding a good build was fucking hard, and then being able to build it cleanly in the center of your RDA was hard. So basically, people would show off, even if they just did a round wire build, like how clean it looked. Look how clean my wraps are. look how the coil on this side of the RDA looks like the coil on that side of the RDA. And then I think that's where people started getting real fancy, and they started twisting their wires together, or not even twisting their wires. Instead of doing circles, they started doing spirals. Instead of doing circles, they started making squares with their wire. And these were like the first coil porn coils. Were just weird looking. They were just round wire, bent in different ways or wrapped around different bits. Or maybe something like a tri-coil where it was 3 coils in one, just bent in different ways. And I remember trying to look up a coil that I could try to see if it would be a better vape. So I went on Google and I looked up, I think I looked up either cool vaping coils, or maybe I even put in coil porn. I was watching Rip Trippers at the time, and I would do everything that he showed. Any kind of trico coil, even twisted coils. I always had a drill because I'm a contractor. And I went on there and I found this guy, D'd Up Dex. And he would have these split coils, and the one split coils he put inside of a hobo. And I was wanting a hobo, and then when I seen this build, it made me want the hobo even more. There wasn't anything super special about the hobo build deck, but the way this build looked in that build deck, I guess it was kind of attractive to me. And it was these split coils, but they were squared. To this day, I still can't get them to look as uniform as he did them. I could do split coils, but the squared split coils is something that's still hard for me to this day, especially since the one that he did was 4 of them. Up until then, I thought that basically anything anybody could do, I could do it. I didn't think anybody could build better than me. So I started getting a little more into coil building, watching all the Rip Trippers videos, and then he talked about Twisted Messes. So then I started watching Twisted Messes. When I seen that there was actually videos out there, I started looking up other builders. Eventually, Twisted Messes said in one of his videos that something about Instagram, like this builder is known over on Instagram, or something to that effect. When he said that, I said, you know what? I don't like social media, but I may want to check out this Instagram thing. So I went over to Instagram and started following Twisted Messes, and then when I followed him, it said other pages you may like, and I started following people like M Turk and Proby 300, and there were so many other ones. There was one of my favorites of all time was the Parallel Grave Dance, who was actually one of the builders that started Build Mode. Then I started following Ethos and Probes. I started checking out all their videos. Squid Dude, Blue Eye Goon. And from there, you know, the Alien came out, and that was a challenge for me. Any other coil I felt like I could get, but then the Alien coil came out, and that actually made more of a challenge. All the other builds, I could learn in a day. They were all easy, all in a day. But then the Alien and the Stagger Fuse Clapton took me more than a day to figure out. And man, not only was I addicted to building them, I was also addicted to taking pictures and sharing it and showing the people that taught me what I did. And I guess the rest is history. Up until now, I fell in love with the hobby. Probably more than I fell in love with vaping, to tell you the truth. I feel as though I'd probably stop vaping before I would stop building. If I made a decision to stop vaping, what an asshole. If I made a decision to stop vaping, I think I would continue to build. Which, I don't know how many other people feel like that. But there's been times where I thought about, maybe I could do this with 0 milligram. Even though I love vaping so much. But that's the story. So, Instagram, I think I started that. Somebody's car sounds like shit. I started Instagram, I guess that was April of either 2015 or 14? I want to say 14. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. It's either... It might even be August. I'll have to check. And I would post at least a build a day. Sometimes 3 builds a day. And, I never really cared about sponsors, but eventually some started contacting me. And then I kind of fell in love with the idea of taking different pictures, cool pictures. I always liked taking different types of pictures than other people. So when other people were doing black backgrounds, I would like to do white. And then if I seen white backgrounds, I would like to have trees in the background or just anything in the background, anything different. The same background over and over is almost boring, but I also like very dark pictures. I like to take dark pictures. I like it when it looks like you're in a dark room and there's just a coil shining through that dark room. I think I like all the pictures. But I also like different when something's different. So, eventually, at some point when the Blue Eye Goon came out, the Goon RDA, Blue Eye Goon put up a build-off to win a Goon. And once I got to compete in a build-off, and I felt like I did alright. I didn't win anything. I started looking for build-offs. And when Coil Wars happened, I was happy as a pig in shit. At this point, I was on like a vaping team, the VBC, which were just guys from the UK. There was one builder on the team, but for the most part it was just guys who vaped, and some of them did tricks. UK Vapor Sharper, was the team captain, and there was just a bunch of good guys on the team. Coil Builder John, just a whole bunch of good guys. So got on Coil Wars, was able to meet other builders who like to compete in building, and did pretty good. Had a lot of fun with Coil Wars, and then I realized, man, these build-offs are awesome. They're really, not only did I grow as a builder and everybody in Coil Wars grew as a builder, but it made it fun. Because competition's fun. Competition's a big part of life. Just about everything's competition. Businesses, even when you're just at work with your coworkers. And it makes it fun. There's a thing as a healthy competition and unhealthy. And as long as you're having healthy build-offs with healthy competition, there's nothing wrong with that. It could actually be a really, really good thing. And I remember during Coil Wars, I just enjoyed it so much that made me like building a whole lot more. So between the hobby, which I believe has kept me clean off of drugs, between the challenge, between the pictures, between the build-offs, the challenge amongst other builders, between all that, there's only one other thing I like about building that is equal to all them, and that's kind of teaching and spreading the word. Because when I was learning how to build, there was a couple videos, some of them not on purpose, I don't think on purpose, but some of them left out some information that people needed to know. And this could have been for a bunch of reasons. It could have been, I don't know, I guess some people are just better teachers. Twisted Messes videos were awesome. There's just, when I was starting to build, there wasn't a lot of teaching going on. It was almost, and that was a good thing though in a way, because I didn't like to go watch build videos. The only time I would go watch building tutorials is either if I was completely stumped and I couldn't get it, or if I was just looking for another build to do that I didn't know of. For instance, the coil that happened with was M-Turk's multi-strand. I never seen that before, and when he showed it, I was like, "Oh, I want to do this." But when it came to the staple coil, man, I had to watch Squid Dude's video over and over and over again, because one of the biggest challenges was to get that ribbon to stand up, especially when we only had 0.5 ribbon. Man, that was a challenge, but it was fun. So, all in all, there's a lot of things I like about building, but I also enjoy the teaching, making tutorials, making videos. I feel like I get my fix of photography when I'm making videos. As much as I'd like to get back to Instagram and grow my Instagram, it's just hard doing everything. But building is something that it's part of my day and part of my life, and it is a hobby. And lots of people, I'll get it on YouTube a lot, like lots of people will ask like, why? Like, I don't even vape half these coils. I don't even vape 25% of these coils that I'm making. I already know what I like to vape. I found the vape that I like a long time ago. So why do you do it? Why build coils you're not going to vape? Why even do it? And the only thing I could answer them and put it into perspective is, it's kind of like people that build model cars. Little model cars. Why are you building these model cars if you can't even drive them? Well, it's because it's a challenge. It's because I like the finished product and I enjoy getting to the finished product. And I like showing it off. I like showing it to my friends and family, showing them what I accomplished. Being able to sit back at the end and being like, you know, I built this out of wires that are basically the size of human hair. Starting with nothing and ending with something. Just being creative is very important. Also, doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable is important. If you keep doing just aliens all day because that's the coil you do best, you're not going to learn much and you're not going to feel as good about your final product. And hey, I know the camera work is bad on this video, but hey, I'm driving. What do you want from me? Maybe I could crop myself later. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. It's more of a podcast, isn't it? This is more of a podcast kind of thing. Hopefully my sound's not too bad. But hey, this is making time fly. There's a fucking horse head. What the fuck? Watch this. Oh, I can't do it. That guy's got a horse head on. I hope you could see him. I hope you've seen that. So, man, I already got 20 minutes of video, and I'm damn near home. I'm like 10 minutes away from home. Since the school's had out, the traffic's not too bad. We left early, so because it's supposed to keep snowing for like another 2 hours, and then sleet, and possibly freeze over. But tomorrow it's going to be like 55 degrees. So we called it a day. But that's basically just me and why I started building, why I stayed building, and why I still enjoy building. I always think about other builders, that basically the ones that started everything. Like when it comes down to like who's responsible for coil building, I don't know who started it. I think it was a bunch of people that started it, and they probably don't even know it. It's probably nobody that's even still building today. But I know that there's a couple out there that are hugely responsible for it getting bigger. People like Blue Eye Goon, that invented the Alien, and the Arch Clapton, and so many others, the Suka, so many others, and Squid Dude, who invented the staple coil, and the staple stagger fuse, or the stagger fuse Clapton. Twisted Messes, who shared and was one of the first builders to have a channel based around building, and started twisting different wires together, doing different kind of combinations of wire twists and stuff like that. So hopefully I got my own little spot in there. I think I do, to where I want people to find a hobby. It doesn't even have to be building. If somebody comes to my channel and just sees that a bunch of people are enjoying a hobby, and it just gets them to think, and then maybe they pick up their own little hobby, even if it's not building, that's a win for me. If I could teach people, even like some people say, a little bit of patience, because you need a lot of patience for tedious hobbies. You need a lot of it. Or if I could just teach basically what my channel's about, how to do a certain type of coil. That's all I want, is to try to keep the hobby around. Because sometimes it seems like building has its bad times. Especially when there was tanks, sub-ohm tanks came out, I guess like 2016. And that was like the year of the sub-ohm tanks. And thank God for squonking. Because squonking kind of took that away. And that's a great thing for the building community, because for a while, it was looking bad. And there's some builders that started all this that I was just naming off, and, you know, they get busy. And good for them. They get, you know, they start businesses, start websites, start selling RDAs, start designing for RDA companies or for whatever. Maybe they get a photography job because of the pictures that they're taking. They just get busy, and it's hard to keep up with your hobby when you get busy. Or maybe you pick up other hobbies. I try to make that not happen. Which, when it comes to selling coils, that's why I kind of step back sometimes. And when it comes to doing a lot of crazy photography, I step back. because I want to stay in it as long as I would like, without having anything pull me out of it. And I enjoy the videos and building and stuff like that. Fucking creep with a Dallas fucking jacket. We are in Philadelphia. If you don't like Philadelphia fucking Eagles, don't like the fucking cat. At least like Pittsburgh. It's in the same fucking state. I'm in the ghetto right now. This is the ghetto. This is Second and Japip. If you wanted to buy heroin, this is where you would go. Right here. This is where you would go. Any drug, really. Man, I could really go for a bag of crack. No. Crack was never my thing. But I guess that's all for today. I think I got like a 26-minute video here, and I think I'll post it. I enjoyed this video. I'm going home now. I'm hoping a piece of mail is going to be there. I may go live. I may go live when I get home. Who knows? If I do, chances are this video will be up after that live. So, everybody peace out. Be safe in the snow, stay warm, and have a good week. I'm out.